You want to live in a hell on earth? Most of the world has and is right now living in a tyranny. It's humiliating. It's pathetic. The good news is once we go into one, a lot of you are going to wake up. A lot of you out there that have been buying the propaganda, tyranny has a way of getting you to see straight. I know a lot of you out there who are neocons and liberals will still go along with it. You'll decide to convince yourself it's great and try to join it and try to get a trusted traveler North American Union ID, which they've now announced, and you'll be part of the Tattletale Brigade. You'll enjoy yourself. But, again, that's because you're pathetic scum, un-American trash. But right now, let's go ahead and go to the Denver TV news piece concerning the secret police in America. Here it is.
You could be on a secret government database or watch list for simply taking a picture on an airplane.
Some federal air marshals say they're reporting your actions to meet a quota, even though some top officials deny it. 7 News investigator Tony Pobolesky uncovers the quota in tonight's 10:15 difference.
And those Las Vegas air marshals fly all over the country, including right here through Denver. We're concealing their identities tonight, but they all say they're required to submit at least one report a month. If they don't, no raise, no bonus, no awards, and no special assignments. They call it a quota.
Not only are they making stuff up, but innocent passengers are being entered into an international intelligence database as suspicious persons acting in a suspicious manner on an aircraft.
And they did nothing wrong.
They did nothing wrong.
Unknowing passengers doing nothing wrong, landing in a secret government document called a surveillance detection report. When you see a decision like this for these reports, who loses here?
The people we're supposed to be here to protect, the American public.
In government speak, it's called an SDR. 7 News obtained this internal Homeland Security document defining an SDR as a report designed to identify terrorist surveillance activity. What kind of impact would it have for a flying individual to be named in an SDR?
Oh, that's going to have serious impact.
Don Strange was the agent in charge of air marshals in Atlanta. He lost his job attempting to change policies inside the agency.
They could be placed on a watch list. They could wind up in databases that identify them as potential terrorists.
And that's why several air marshals object to this July 2004 memo from top management in the Las Vegas office. Its subject line reminds air marshals of the SDR requirement. In the body it reads, each federal air marshal is now expected to generate at least one SDR per month. Does that memo read to you that FAM headquarters has set a quota?
Absolutely, no doubt.
A second management memo, also dated July 2004, says there may come an occasion when you just don't see anything out of the ordinary for a month at a time. But I'm sure that if you're looking for it, you'll see something. Is there a quota in Las Vegas for surveillance detection reports?
There is. And it directly reflects on performance evaluations.
On how much money you make?
Exactly.
The director of the Air Marshal Service, Dana Brown, declined a request for an interview on the quota system, but the agency points to this memo from August 2004. It says there is not a quota for submitting SDRs, and it goes on to say, I do not expect reports that are inaccurate or frivolous. But Las Vegas-based air marshals say the quota system remains in force now more than 2 years after managers sent the original memos. To meet this quota, to get their raises, do you think fans in Las Vegas are making some of this stuff up?
I know they are. It's a joke.
One example, according to air marshals, on one flight leaving Las Vegas, an unknowing passenger, most likely a tourist, was identified in an SDR for doing nothing more than taking a photo of the Las Vegas skyline as his plane rolled down the runway. You're saying that that was not an accurate portrayal of a potential terrorist activity?
No, it was not.
Was a marshal trying to meet a quota?
Yes, he was.
Did you have a quota in the Atlanta office when you were in charge?
No, I didn't. Would never have done that.
The former agent in charge of the Atlanta region and other air marshals say the quota allows the government to fill a database with bad information. Did you play the game? Did you
write an SDR every month?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Well, it's intelligence information. And like any system, if you put garbage in, you get garbage out. I would like to see an investigation, a real investigation, conducted into the way things are done here.
The Director of the Air Marshal Service, Dana Brown, continues to decline our request for an interview to explain the concerns of the Air Marshals. In a written statement, the service strongly denies any presence of a quota system. But Las Vegas-based Air Marshals have produced documents that show their performance reviews are directly linked to producing the security detection reports.
All right, so I wrote some notes while I was listening to that. Number one, it is meant to create garbage and chatter in the system. That's why the globalists run, in some cases, over 45 drills simultaneously while they carry out real terror attacks. It happens every time, to confuse the rest of the intelligence agencies that are not in the compartmentalized units that are actually carrying out the attacks. So it's about flooding the system with bad chatter and creating reports that can be then used for the public, and of course not telling us where they got the data, showing there's a real terror threat. So it's multifaceted there. Also, the entire Air Marshal and Airport TSA training system, again, I saw Governor Ridge 4 years ago on television. So much in that 2-hour speech discussion I saw him give came out. He kind of slipped up a bit. Meeting with all these CEOs, they said you'll have a trusted traveler card. Now, they admit it'll be for the North American continent. We now have the documents on that. That's public. And if you are on a watch list, if you're in any of these databases, bad credit, you'll go from a green level code of trusted traveler down to yellow, and then, quote, you won't have a Bill of Rights, you won't have due process, because they claim that now they have probable cause. So it's about getting as many of us as they can on board these systems. And now we have the TSA / Viper teams that are Miami, Houston, Texas, out randomly searching people at shopping malls. Just randomly get up against the wall. We're going to randomly search you. And they say it's random. And I've wondered why in the last few years I'll be on board airplanes shooting video out the window or taking snapshots, and a stewardess, a flight attendant, will run over and say, turn that off. It's a regulation. I'll go, I need to know the regulation. I've even seen brawny men suddenly get up out of their seats and start walking back like they're going to the bathroom and then loitering by my, where I'm at. And I just go, look, fine, do what you want. I'm going to keep taking video. I want to see the regulation. And they'll start freaking out. This happened when I flew to Canada. It happened when I flew back. Because the flight attendants, they all know, quote, that's terrorist now. Everything's terrorist. Everything. When you go out and videotape something, it's terrorism, but the government can videotape everything they want. So this is what they're doing, and so they're training everybody how to be members of the secret police. There is no real terrorism, but see, as they expand this, it won't just be quotas. Now all crime or political speech or property rights demonstration or talk of the Constitution gets you in these lists. We have all the official documents. It's in my film Terror Storm. So this is what they're doing. And this is also set up to get rid of good air marshals. Anybody with half a brain goes, wait a minute, I've got to fill out false reports and put it in a secret terrorist database for anyone that takes a photo, a family with their children. Everybody's got digital cameras. I've got to put at least one innocent person a month into this thing. You see, and so that'll get rid of the good people, but the scum that loves to make money, that's how you go up to the ranks. You will put innocent people in databases. And pretty soon it ends up being like Dallas. Remember 2 years ago, the big scandal? The police would randomly pull over nice vehicles, throw a bag of chalk, a bag of pool cue chalk into the back of the vehicle, powdered, and they would then seize the car, seize their home, not even charge them. And the Dallas Crime Lab certified in every case, or there were 15 that went to trial, they said there were hundreds, they would certify it